Hello and welcome on Watches TV, and today we're going to talk GPHG as we're going to cover like 6 categories of this year's Grand Prix, and we'll do so with our friend Baudouin Van Es from Tourbillon Watch. But the little trick is that we're going to be as concise as possible. For each of the watches, we're going to mention the price because this has also to be taken into consideration because sometimes you have watches in the same categories there's a huge gap in terms of price difference. So for this time, we will indeed mention the price so it gives you another little piece of information. So we're going to start with the men's category. So we're going to review these 6 categories, but the trick is that we're going to keep it short. 45 seconds, 1 minute maximum per watch. So let's start with the men's category, and we'll talk about the first watch, the Audemars Piguet Code 1159 Star Wheel. And this is kind of a reinterpretation of a watch that was really kind of one of the iconic watches of Audemars Piguet. It has been modernized, so it's not a simple iteration of the last model. Here you have a central second on this watch. The case is made out of ceramic and, if I'm not mistaken, white gold. It's really, of course, kind of a cool watch. I like it very much. And the price of this watch is set at 51,700 Swiss francs, including taxes. All right, the next watch, and we'll continue with DB28, presenting a version of the... I haven't finished, but then I gained a little bit of time. Off we go. All right, so now talk about this DB28 XS, the Starry Seas, and it's kind of a reference to the previous models that we had seen with the Starry Skies, but this time you indeed have like a sea pattern with this magnificent guilloche dial, which has a bit of a random feel to it, something that Denis Flageolet wanted for each of the watches to be slightly different. Of course, it's always nice. It's not something completely new per se in a certain way, but they're always very nice watches. This watch is retailed at 82,900 Swiss francs, and just gorgeous watch.
It's nice.
All right,
it's off we go. So my turn now. I will speak about the Ferdinand Berthoud chronometer FB3 SPC. Quite a long name for such a watch. It's a question of numbers. When you look at it, it's a classical design. You could wear it on the street and no one will mention it. But when you look at here, the balance wheel, it's not flat, okay, it's cylindrical. And when you want to have a look at it, you can go on the 9 and you will be able to see this organ leaving. Why it's complicated? It took them few months to find the right balance to be able to fit the cost criteria.
Beep, beep, beep. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just a beautiful watch. It's super technical, but at the end, it's super expensive too.
Exactly. This price is retail at 143,000 Swiss francs, so a little bit different than the previous model, but indeed a very, very beautiful watch for sure. COSC certified.
Yeah.
All right, next watch.
The Parmigiani Fleurier Tonda PF Microor. In few categories, we will speak about the Tudor. The Tudor Black Bay, you can wear it on a daily basis. It's quite the same with this one, except it is not made of steel, it's made of platinum. You can wear it on a daily basis, it's well done. The work they've done on the lugs, on the bracelet, on the dial. You have also, as an addition, a little plus, a date. So it's well made, and the price is?
It's 83,000 Swiss francs, including taxes. Beautiful watch, of course, platinum, you really feel it on your wrist. And when you do make a little parallel between the steel version, you see why platinum is a bit different. All right, so let's continue with the following watch, and we're going to talk Simon Brett, young, fresh, independent brand, launched recently, and quite a successful launch to say the least. This watch is absolutely magnificent and has this really unique dial with a very unique decorating technique, and you can just play with the light. It's just absolutely mesmerizing. But he went the whole 9 yards, I could say, with this one. Everything has been designed, the screws have been designed, everything is just has a little something complex. You have a huge bridge actually that requires so much finishing because you have beveling and different type of polishing. Absolutely beautiful watch. This watch is called the Simon Brett Chronomètre Artisan. It is retailed at 53,850 francs, so not a pretty good deal, but of course they're all gone. All right, next and final watch.
The Jevdet Recipe Minute Inert, which is beautiful, made of platinum with a 38 millimeter of diameter jumping minutes, which is quite beautiful. When you look at it, okay, do not judge a book by its cover. It's the first watch made by Jevdet Recipe. For me, when you look at it, you have to look at the persona, what he's doing, what he achieved in the past. So what is really interesting is, yes, it's a watchmaker, but it's also an artist. He plays with the art code, architecture code regarding the movement. The small second, it stopped at 58 and stopped 2 seconds at the 60, which is quite funny. So it's always a question of little thing, and I'm very happy to see what he will achieve in the future.
All right, yeah, quite interesting and funny complication, if I can say so, with this instantaneous jumping minute hand also. All right, so this is it. We've covered the man's edition. Oh, last piece of information regarding this last Jevdet Recipe. It retails at 89,391 francs. That's pretty precise. So now you need to choose one.
This one.
You go for the Ferdinand Berthoud, okay? Really,
and you?
It's a beautiful watch, but I will go with the Parmigiani, just so quite subtle and thing like that, and to have this heavy piece of platinum on the wrist, it's quite feeling nice. But of course, we love the Simon Brett. I mean, we love all of them. So this is the ARA Tiny Purity Tourbillon Caméléon, and Caméléon because the case made out of sapphire is what they call it nano sapphire, and it changes color depending on the light you're in. So here you see it a little bit kind of a brownish color, but it will change color to a more vivid green type of color. The thing that is really interesting with this watch is of course the movement, which has really interesting architecture, I think, with this big massive flying tourbillon here found at 9 o'clock, taking practically the entirety of the space available. This watch comes in 39 millimeter. That's why it's called tiny, because before the previous watch was a bit bigger at 46 millimeter, and it costs 155,000 Swiss franc, taxes included. All right, let's go for the next one. I went a little bit further than what I expected, but we're going to talk about this Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Concept Split Seconds Chronograph GMT large day. So that's quite a program that we have here. Obviously in the offshore type of family, and on top of it with the concept dimension, this piece comes at a certain size, of course. It's highly complex. I mean, it's quite a bold statement to have this watch on the wrist. It's actually 43 millimeter in width, but 17.4 in thickness, because there's a lot of mechanical juice in this one. The case is made out of titanium with some ceramic inlays, well, this is quite an expensive timepiece, 183,000 Swiss francs. All right, next watch.
Let's go with the Beauvais Recital 27. It's a beautiful watch. You have the GMT, 2 time zone. Here you have a triple time zone. Why? It's directly connected with the Beauvais history, who has been created in
1822.
Yes, thank you. Created simultaneously in London, Swiss, and China. So that's why you have those 3 time zones. You have the cities, and you have a beautiful moon phase hand painted. That's really beautiful. So you have hour, minutes, second in the back, power reserve, 7 days of power reserve. It's Beauvais. It's very nice, and it's finished.
Yeah, and as with many Beauvais, one of their design signatures is this writing. Writing desk sloped case. But the only thing I regret a little bit with this one is that I feel I've already seen it, okay? But that's a different matter.
That's right.
All right, and by the way, the price of this watch is set at 91,600 Swiss francs. All right, next piece.
So you remember we spoke lately about the Tudor PF Microor. It's the same here. with just one exception. There is a split minute. We are used to hear about split second, but here we have a split minute. So you can really play with it. If here I press this little pusher, it goes 5 minutes by 5 minutes. And if I push here at 11:10, it will go 1 minute per 1 minute. And if I want to reset, I will have to push here on the crown and it disappears. So it's a world premiere. It's completely useless, but it's fun. On my point of view.
Yeah, it could be used a bit as a timer. You say, okay, well, I'm going to set 15 minutes for whatever, meeting, cooking, whatever, and then you know where you are. So it does have a little purpose, but it's pretty cool.
And the shape is perfect.
Yes.
Nothing to...
And this piece comes at 28,000 Swiss francs. Okay, next timepiece with the Piaget Perpetual Calendar Ultra Thin. So, I mean, this goes back to the kind of round but not so round type of shape. It has a bit of a cushion feel, but it nevertheless is round. It is a nice piece. We know Piaget is one of the rare participating brands of the Richemont Group at this year's GPHG because, as always, I mean, it doesn't represent the full spectrum of the industry, as we've mentioned. So this watch comes in a 42 millimeter case, as like I said, ultra thin, so it's only 8.65 millimeter in thickness. You have the correctors for the Perpetual calendar on the side. Comes in this pink gold case with a nice green dial and is priced at 72,500 Swiss franc. All right, final piece of the category.
The Voutilainen World Timer with a cushion shape. It's a World Timer, easy to set up. Everything happened here with the crown. Nothing to add. It's a Voutilainen timepiece. I don't know if Voutilainen has already done another timepiece with a cushion shape. Do you know?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So when you look at it, you see a Carré Voutilainen, nothing very new, but we know that it's very well made, nothing to add, and the price is
set at 198,000 Swiss francs, so quite a pricey piece coming in a steel case, but I mean, we love Carré, right? So that's it for the 6 watches for this man's complication category. Which one do you pick then?
I will pick 2 watches, if I may, the Beauvais one and the Parmigiani one.
All right.
For the Sunday weekend and for the entire week.
Okay, well, I will stick with Parmigiani because I think this complication is actually pretty fun and cool. And so it's not so useless after all. All right, see you for the next category. Bye.